Hello, good morning, everyone, and welcome to um, this morning's event. My name is Isaiah Reese. I am the CEO and co founder of Blaze Fire Games. Blaze Fire Games, we are a global gaming creation company, digital licensed content company, located in 120 countries where we operate in everything from digital licensing, video creation, VR, AR, as well as merchandising and providing career pathways for those who are entering into what we call this content creators world. So it's my pleasure to be here with everyone today, along with my esteemed colleagues. So we're going to speak with everyone today.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Jared Albritton. I've been in the tech space since 2006. And I would say about 2020, 2021 is when I started getting into the Web3, Metaverse, NFT, crypto space. Basically, during the pandemic, I hopped on this app that was invite only at the time called Clubhouse. Was very passionate about helping increase diversity in tech, grew an audience from 80 followers to 30,000 in the span of 2 months. Said, you know what, I'm gonna quit my job and make this my thing. And then I was introduced to the Board Ape Yacht Club and some metaverse environments like Elucer, Infinite Reality, and several others. And now one of my objectives is to help increase diversity when it comes to the Web3 space so that we are ahead of the curve and taking advantage of opportunities to monetize, grow our audience, as well as create generational wealth through the NFT technology. So, yeah, excited to talk about how you can make money in the metaverse. And hopefully, after this session, you will feel more comfortable about how you can take your business and grow it, create loyalty programs with the NFTs, and how the metaverse is going to be the future of commerce. So, look forward to the conversation.
As Jared was just talking about this, and then this really leads into probably how we'll even talk about just the points of how big this industry is, right? So, industry numbers out there states the following: VR, virtual reality, as we know, is scheduled by 2025 to be a $400 billion business. However, as my colleague panelists has talked about, hey, how do we help generate this? How to make money in this, what we call this metaverse? Because it can be confusing. There are a lot of career opportunities out there with it. So we have to think about that. It's estimated to be like a $1 trillion value. So, Jared, as we think about this $1 trillion value, and we think about how African Americans is a $2 trillion spending consumer base, what are some, in your opinion, some of the low hanging fruit areas we need to look at?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So, I think what I would like to do is maybe take it back to the basics for those that have like no idea what the metaverse is or what an NFT is. So basically, the NFT metaverse space is built off the blockchain technology where you basically have a ledger and you can do digital currency through that ledger and pass payments back and forth. And through the blockchain and through cryptocurrency, there's a thing called NFT. So, what I think when it comes to low hanging fruit, NFTs are digital assets where you can have royalty contracts associated with that digital asset. So, as it is sold and redistributed, and especially at a higher price, you will get the profit of that royalty every time it's resold. So I try to, say it in like Web 2.0 or terms that are, pretty um, uh, relevant to regular people. So I would say like an MX Platinum card, you have a membership fee of like $450 a year, and with that membership fee, you get utility, which is access to airport lounges. You get discounts to different shows and events. You get travel concierges. There's a lot of different perks that come with it, right? And so if you think about NFTs, you can look at it as a loyalty program or a membership program for your business. So say you have, I don't know, 10,000 really excited customers that love your product and love what you do. You can create an NFT loyalty program where you can say 500 NFTs will get you access to NFT holder only events where you can get early access to products, discounts on services, early access to different services, etc. Like when it comes to NFTs and when it comes to, business owners, look at it as a loyalty program, except with this loyalty program, it sells out. So say you have 500 NFTs, you sell them for $1,000 for a lifetime membership, as long as they want to have it, right? 500 times 1,000, that's $500,000 that your business is getting from this loyalty program. Because you got to think about it, out of your 10,000 customers, you're going to have 500 super fans that are going to want to have that exclusive access. But you can also sell it as the fact that your 10,000 customers are going to grow to 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 over time. So if it sells out, supply and demand is going to have it so that if they put an NFT, an NFT holder puts it on an auction site and says this NFT starts at $1,000, it goes to the highest bidder. The bidding happens, and somebody buys it for $2,000. That NFT holder is excited. They just made $1,000 after getting the utility of the NFT, all of those little perks that they had while they had it. And now the floor price of the NFT has risen from 1,000 to 2,000, and that process continues to happen, right? What's exciting for you as the business owner is that you have a you have a royalty rate on that NFT. So when it goes to 1,000 to 2,000, you make that 15%, 10%, 20%, whatever rate that you set on the NFT. And what's great about this is you can put these NFT platform into a trust and pass it down to your kids, your grandkids. And so if the NFT rises from 2,000 to 10,000 to 20,000, you're constantly making money off that royalty percentage. But more importantly, your NFT holders are going to be running around promoting your brand because they want to increase the value of their NFT, as well as really pretty much promote and brag the FOMO of I got this NFT and you don't. I'm at this NFT event and you're not. I'm getting access to this discounts and you can't. And it's a really great way to have your super fans really promote your brand while making generational wealth through the royalty percentages and perpetuity, while at the same time, if you have a sellout event, that's immediate revenue for your business. In that example, $500,000, but you can make the NFT, platform as big as you want, as exclusive as you want, and dictate the price. And especially if it's crypto based, Ethereum, in my opinion, is only going to go up. So if you use Ethereum as your, basis cryptocurrency for your NFT, not only will they make money off of the resale, but they'll make money as Ethereum raises in price, as the utility of it increases to grow. So that's one low hanging fruit that I would give in terms of how uh, business owners that have no concept of the metaverse. All right, we're going to get to the metaverse in a bit, but when it comes to NFTs, treat it like a loyalty program with a royalty rate, and find utility that will get your customer base excited, sell it out, and then the price will grow as their supply and demand.
It truly is about what he just discussed about. I'm going to use the word opportunity, monetization opportunities, right? I think about how we operate, like at Blaze Fire Games, our company, right? We think about what we call this play to earn, right? And these crypto awards, and I think about even all of our. I mean, we're talking about we have several 100,000 that are in the back end of our systems, and they get so excited about the opportunity of knowing that as they're playing, they're earning rewards with that, a way to monetize that. For example, I'm sitting here with a merch shirt on right now, and the ability to be able to say, hey, if you're playing in a tournament, to be able to get a discount off of a merch. Again, a utility, monetization. It is about the reward side of it. So you have some really strong startups who are now out in the market allowing themselves to do that. It's also an opportunity for a career opportunity when you're building that. Think about when we think about those who are building these play to earn opportunities, play to earn to win, maybe a crypto or again a merch. This is this metaverse world because you have this digital opportunity to be able to monetize any and all your brands that you never could have. Think about it. We look at this now where there's online shopping, from a metaverse world. When I worked at Microsoft, when I look at now when you go to Macy's and you can look in the mirror and you can try on the outfit without ever putting it on. I mean, we were doing that 12 years ago at Microsoft when I ran worldwide marketing for them. So to see it now passing on, and I kind of sit back and go, this is the world we're living in. So this world of digital and career opportunity allows a great opportunity for everyone to leverage what he was talking about, your creativity, but more importantly, turn it into a monetization piece. We throw this world, metaverse world, this word around, but the key is how do you turn it into a monetization that is long lasting and sustainable?
So when I see we got our amazing moderator here, if you want to jump in and introduce yourself, you can.
My name is Christine Burkett. I am the CEO of PICF Inc., which is the only female owned IT consulting firm in Detroit, Michigan. I apologize for my late arrival. How are you guys?
We like it.
We're good. We're good. We're good.
We know girls run the world, so we were just.
But yeah, did you have questions prepared, or were we just kind of riffing?
So I think just having an open dialogue so people have a better understanding, I think is the best approach to kind of communicate to them how this works, from small businesses to large box brands. Because I think sometimes small businesses don't understand how to monetize in the metaverse. And I think that's like going through the steps in the process to help them understand how that works. So, just from a retail perspective, what do you guys think is the best approach if you're like a mom and pop shop, you're located in a downtown area in your current state? What does that look like?
I'm going to take it from perspective of me being an entrepreneur, and we with all these 27 different entities that we have as different companies, small businesses that turned into these conglomerate, large global businesses, right? Um, let's think about one that I know for sure as we talk about one that was Fortnite. So Fortnite is a game, a very popular game. What Fortnite did with theirs, and I'm gonna bring it back to the mom and pop perspective. What Fortnite did, you started seeing on like Monopoly and McDonald's commercials and all these different pieces. But what they were doing was monetizing that digital asset of that Fortnite game. You have to think about it. There were over 100 million gamers attending the Fortnite championship. And when you think about that, just think about how many times a small business could have put their insert of their advertisement inside just that one game during those competitions throughout the year. That would have generated them, especially when the pandemic hit, that would have generated them more business of what we call this e-commerce world that would have got them into. They would have never thought about shipping their products. And that was the thing small business had to wake up from pandemic time was, hey, wait a minute. Even from those who were trainers, you had to realize there were trainers who made more money on IG doing virtual training, i.e., that is a metaverse world. If you think about it, they made more money, and some have never gone back in person as trainers because they had built such a strong brand outside of that. So, how small business can do to answer your question is first, this was a step to sit back and go, how can I one activate as an e-commerce brand, and does my product and services actually relate, and can it be executed as a e-commerce brand, which I believe all brands can, small businesses. And if it's not, then I need to now revamp that. And I believe how we are able to execute that, a small business, okay, a mom and pop restaurant is not going to create an NFT. Let's just be upfront. I'm not saying they can't, but the fact of them understanding it, like he just explained it, would have been much more difficult lift. However, what they were comfortable with, they think a metaverse is I signed up for DoorDash. But here's where it can work from them helping that. This was their chance to create an avatar or a very fun character about their brand or their logo that they could have turned into merchandise or being able to run discounts utilities by saying, hey, if you download my app, right, then you are able and you're able to use my um, avatar or image, you get 10% off when you're ordering from me. So I think we had to sit back on during this time and help small business understand that maybe you don't understand the techie part so deeply, but just resetting your brand. And I call it reimagining the delivery of your brand and products and services.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Like the way that I broke down the NFT loyalty program, most mom and pop small businesses probably wouldn't take that approach. But I would say they just should look at it like looking at the internet, Web 2.0 allowed their small business to have sales in Japan, Africa, China, South America. That's the way they should look at Web 3.0. It's an immersive experience using virtual reality where avatars can go around, but they can make purchases as they walk around. I think what's going to be really popular in the metaverse are virtual malls. And so mom and pop shops that have e-commerce set up where they can do shipping can set up a retail store within these virtual malls. And the key is to find virtual malls that have a lot of traffic and a lot of big brands or smaller brands that are really driving people to put on their headsets and shop at their store. And like we mentioned before, there's got to be a unique utility to going into this store and getting a product that they can't get in a regular website, or something that they can maybe get a discount by being there, but they need to drive that traffic up. That makes it like, why would I go to the website when I can go into the virtual store and maybe get something, a different experience, right? But more importantly, I think these virtual malls. There's a woman, and her name's on the internet. It's called A Conundrum. A black woman, really brilliant. She's really pioneering the whole virtual mall space. And although it's early stages, I think people in the brands that get lots in her virtual real estate within those malls are going to benefit from her marketing as well as the marketing of the other brands that are in these malls. So that's how I would look at how can I make money in the metaverse. Set up a shop within one of these virtual malls, and promote what you're doing there, but also make it so that passerbys, these avatars that are going from shop to shop, you can convert them as well. So that's what I would do. But it's early stages.
It is very early stages. I think one of the things people need to really pay attention to now is that even if you have a mom and pop shop, even if you do have a restaurant, it may be one thing that you're doing great that everyone's coming there for. It could be a pie, it could be cookies. You can put that into the metaverse where people can actually go in and order that, but you have to have a delivery method that is open to delivering globally. That's the difference. So you need to look at again when it comes to the back end, it's a manufacturing component that I don't think a lot of people are understanding. The metaverse is an amazing place to be in. I love the virtual malls, but you still need that back end to produce your product to send it out globally. And I emphasize that because once you go into the metaverse, you may have someone ordering from Australia. They may want your product. So now you're sitting there trying to figure out how do I get it to them? So I always say, if you want to start out before you go into the metaverse, the best way to do it is maybe to put your product on Amazon, to put your product on Etsy, and start out seeing if you can keep up with those orders. And once you can keep up and get that back end perfected, then you can move on to the metaverse, and that'll give you a better perspective of production. Because I would hate for the mom and pops to jump in and then realize they can't keep up with production. So we're talking about the malls and the real estate. This is like really big. And I think this is where, to be totally honest, the minority community comes in after the fact, not realizing the opportunity. So I want to say that right now is a great time to go in, start doing your research. There's so many communities out there that are doing different things. Just don't jump in. Do it like you would do anything else. Do a drive through, visit, just kind of check out your surroundings. So, what would you guys recommend if someone's looking to not purchase real estate quite yet, but to just kind of look at who has them all? Because right now, just to let you know, Nike's in the metaverse, Adidas, Puma, all of them are there and they're selling. So, they're not only selling in reality, they're not only selling online, but they're selling in the metaverse. And they made more money in the metaverse during COVID than they did in any other purchasing component. And so, when we talk about purchasing, they like maxed out. So that's just real talk. So I always say if big box is doing it, is something to it. Don't just walk away. So what would you guys advise them to do?
I mean, when we think about just the creation part, so let's what she's talking about. So let's back up a little bit about just the career opportunities in this. Even even when we think about the career opportunities of how to make money in metaverse, your skill, your skill is also going to be important. And this is when they're about how is a small business or a minority business are trying to set up, okay, if I'm going to go into this space, who should I be working with? Should I be working with North Carolina A&T is known for their computer science and engineering program. So if you're in North Carolina, you're a small business. You're talking about the number one school that's produced more African American PhDs that have passed the engineering test 98% on the first. So you want to go and start looking at who can I work with to help me build this. That's one thing that I think there's a career opportunity there. The piece when I really think about of products and services, like we build digital products and services. So we went in, I say our company, Blaze Fire Game, we went and found researchers, influencers that were out there in the world that were doing really, really well. But what they didn't have was a shoe, a digital shoe. They didn't have like a digital merch store. So what we ended up doing was partnering small businesses with those influencers and said, okay, you have 1 million followers. What if we create the digital shoe for you and you put this small business on your site to promote it together? That small business then was allowed then to put one of their specialized products, whether it was a barbecue sauce or whatever. We're like, don't put your whole offering, put that one thing that you're really, really good at. So here we are with an influencer that has 1 million followers. One in particular, we created her digital shoe on IG. She has 1 million followers on IG. 98% engagement rate. Anything she says she touches, it goes to gold. She's like Oprah, right? Well, then we worked with her. So she picks 5 small businesses, women-owned business, as a female. And what she did was she allowed those small businesses to put their products on there. One was a swimsuit that this young lady was trying to launch. Just by her putting that on that digital shoe product, crashed her website. So what we're saying, maybe aligning with influencers, not paying influencer. We just aligned influencer who wanted to create a digital product. We created that shoe for them in a digital product store, and it went wild. And then we just put the advertising those small businesses in there. Again, aligning. It gets a little heavy work, but it makes sense without having a heavy cost.
Yeah, can you repeat the question?
When we look at the virtual real estate and setting up, what are the processes that you would think a person would take in order to shop for a virtual mall? And so what he said was aligning himself first with someone who got some street cred, as we say already. They already got street cred. So that is a great way before you go in and start opening a virtual space in a mall.
Yeah, I would so I would definitely reach out to this young woman named Bianca Jackson. You should definitely Google her. She creates retail spaces and Spatial IO and other spaces, and rents them out as well. And it's a huge business in terms of renting out, space in the metaverse for like meet and greets or events, conferences, etc. And yeah, reverse engineer. Like Afrotech had a conference in the metaverse. Reverse engineer who was the developers or the company that built that out. And that's how if I were in a position of if I want to build something, find the people, find the events that are happening that are popular, that had a lot of traction and traffic, find out who were the developers that built it, and then who were the marketing teams that helped, evangelize, socialize it to drive traffic, and then find out what their services cost. Another person I would recommend, obviously I'm going to really recommend Black people, is a man named Hardy West. He does a lot of great stuff in Horizon World, and he works with like Baller Alert, created their Baller Alert world. So yeah, just really look into developers that have developed similar things that you're looking to do. And then again, a woman named Akonundrum, like AKANUNDRUM, something to that effect. If you Google that, it'll pop up. But she's definitely doing the whole virtual mall thing so that you don't have to do the heavy lifting of developing a space yourself, and you can just basically take that retail space and early stages, but I'm pretty confident she's got a big following, and she's recruiting some dope brands that a year from now, 2 years from now, you're going to be able to get that retail space at a super discount and a premium. And that's how I would look at metaverse real estate in general right now. Is you're going to get it at extreme premium at extremely low cost because it had this huge spike when like Snoop Dogg and JP Morgan Chase had Onyx there. So it had a huge spike, obviously with the economy recession, and the NFT market kind of getting cold. The metaverse real estate market has dipped as well. But with crypto, with stocks, with anything, you want to buy at the dip. But I would say really look at Decentraland as probably one of the better places to host your retail space, just because of the big brands and the traction that they have. And the key is just like in any real estate situation, you want to be next to the best school districts, the mall, the stadium. Try to get your business near where the traffic is so that your business can benefit from the ancillary traffic. And in my opinion, I think Decentraland is probably a great space to check out. But Spatial IO, Horizon World, there's a lot of Somnium space. There's a lot of great metaverse environments. So just see where the hype is and buy before the hype is completely there and benefit from it from a price perspective.
I think that's just a key point. You need to start looking into it now. I think when you first go in, and by the way, you don't have to have the VR glasses and all of that. You can actually do it right from your laptop. I think a lot of people think you need to be geared up. Now, of course, I have all the gear. That doesn't mean you have to get all the gear. I just like to get immersed in stuff like 100%. So I can kind of look at what's the best fit. But you can do it right from your laptop, right from your desktop. So the first thing I would suggest is listening to these guys and making sure that you're going in and identifying a good community. There's a lot of different things that are happening in the metaverse, like they happen in the world, right? So you want to make sure, like you said, when you're looking at real estate, you're looking at neighborhoods. When you're looking at putting your store, your business out there, look at that. But I'm going to tell you, a lot of people are spending like up to 20 hours in the metaverse. This has become their real world. So now you can actually get a job and get paid in the metaverse for doing this job. And I know for some of us, you're thinking, that is so unreal that I'm going to get paid in the metaverse. Well, you can get paid in the metaverse. So, guys, if you can kind of share what jobs people have in what we call reality versus in the metaverse that they can now transfer over and the job. By the way, you do have to just show up to somebody's store and start working. It doesn't work like that. So, guys, if you can give them some examples.
So I'll bring back to where we are, what we're seeing real life happen right now. Uh, in the esports gaming, let's take esports. So there's gaming and there's esports as a subsegment of that. Uh, there are 700 colleges and universities that offer full scholarships on gaming esports. There are 320 different jobs in esports. One is narrative writing scripts. That is the metaverse. Storytelling in that. I even look at my 15-year-old daughter so my son has now built 9 mobile app games. He's 12. My 15-year-old daughter actually writes the scripts that we sell to her brother's games. That is the metaverse. But Madison is good at is writing the narrative. But Michael is at 12 is building it out. So what we're talking about, the different types of jobs, is if you're really good at, for even those who are writing music, they go inside games. See, the difference in how games music is paid for inside games, i.e. the metaverse, is different than how it's when you're dropping an album. See, in the metaverse world, when you hear a song played inside of a game, it's paid by the second. That is a lot of money. We have kids now, and we have one kid out of Tennessee State. I'm so proud of him. He did a song that we inserted in a game in Africa. It pays $90 a second. He makes $17,000 a month. He paid for his full tuition up front. So when we think about the career opportunities, there's something there around being a story narrative. So if you're really good at writing, that is a learn and a great skill to have. That's why I have a ton of PR people. That's what I'm not good at. Marketing and building those things out, play into your strength. If you're in the health and wellness, writing out health and wellness actually recipes and menus for those who are in this because they are behind their computers a lot, is huge business. Legal part from a lawyers. We did a program at Southern University where we beta tested because we said, okay, well, we need black lawyers. So the University Law School and Thurgood Marshall Law School in Texas, we said, wait a minute, we need the black young future attorneys to be able to know how to represent someone like here with his IP. So we created courses. So you think about those are all different jobs. It's not just if I'm a coder, if I develop, a coder and I'm a program developer. No, If I know digital marketing, I have this. If I know project management, I know this, because project management means you have a job in setting up events, not only physical events, but as she just mentioned, I just set up, that's a project manager event specialist who set up a whole store, who set up a museum galleria tour, all of those skills right there. Who all, most of them don't even require even a college degree. Look, I'm a big fan of college degree. I tell people I have four. But what I'm a bigger fan is, this is why we get everyone to in this field by earning certifications, certificates in these fields, like esports and cybersecurity and video game design. That one course in digital forensics for us starts out at 90,000 for a 6-week course. So you have to think about where those jobs are, because that lives in the metaverse. I'll close on one thing as I pass this on. Air traffic controller. You can look this up on YouTube. The FAA needs to hire 4,000 air traffic controllers by 2025. Guess who they're targeting? Gamers. They're going to fill 4,000 jobs by 2025, and they're only recruiting gamers. Here's the caveat to this. Catch this opportunity area. You can start on that certificate program from age 16, at age 16, complete the certificate at 18, and start out at 90,000. I know, because we sell the certificates. If you have a degree, you will start at 132,000. But look at what we've done in the minority market. If you're 16 in high school, complete that certificate to become an entry-level air traffic controller, and 90,000. That changed our neighborhood. I'm watching it happen. So we have to think about where this metaverse world plays. Is that say leverage? What we're talking about is leveraging the skills and the career opportunities that are out there.
Yeah, I mean that's a hard one to follow, but but yeah, no, that's some great stuff. I learned a lot from that. I appreciate that. I mean, I would just say also, just if you know businesses that can benefit from the metaverse, then you can basically be business development. So that's what I did kind of organically, was um, going to NFTLA, Consensus, NFT New York City, and just meeting Black people in the Web3 space. There's a group called Black Web3. There's what Black At. There's a lot of Black Web3 networks that are out there, and I was just like, what do you do? And how can I help? I need access to businesses so I can develop their stores. Okay, great. So what's your rate? My rate's this. All right, great. So I'm going to go ahead and present your service to businesses, make those connections, and basically, do referral agreements or commission, business development. And I would work directly with metaverse environments as well. So, like Elucer, I'm a verified creator on their platform, and an equity owner where I'm doing a live show in their metaverse, and I'm taking the platforms that I work with, like Afrotech and Instagram and Twitter Spaces, and I socialize what they're doing. But then when I do my show, people can pay admission to see the show, or they can tip me, or whatever the case is. I'm recruiting other creators, and by recruiting those creators, I get compensated for that. So this, you got to get creative in this space, and you got to figure out, like, what is real world value that you're good at, and how can you translate that in the metaverse. So I have a friend named Stackpack. He creates virtual billboards in the metaverse. So he's like, all right, cool, like there's this space in these different metaverse environments. Let me build billboards and put businesses on those billboards, and say, here's how much traffic goes through this area, and this how many people will see it, how many impressions. He's making money doing that. You could be a virtual real estate broker in the metaverse. Basically, say, you know what, um, you don't know how to navigate buying real estate. I'll show you how to do that, and in exchange for a fee. Um, yeah, there's just a lot of different consulting education that you can do to these big businesses that have budgets, that want to replicate what Adidas and Nike and different big brands are doing. And if you just learn the space, and then you build an ecosystem of people that can add value to these businesses, you can basically become a broker and in between, and make a ton of money off of these referral agreements.
So If you guys didn't catch that, note number one, look this guy up, right? Note number two, look that guy up. One of the things we do at my company, which links to what he does, is we go into K 12 up to age 26 and we do the pre certification training. So I think a lot of times you need to start studying, and we offer all the different certifications. Within my company, I have graphic designers, web designers, app designers. We do have people who write scripts. Uh, we do animation. We do all of those different things. But we really suggest that you go through the pre certification before you take the test, which will be what his company offers, so that when you do, and we have a lot of kids who start out in middle school and they're already rock stars in graphic design. But what we did is we offered an esports course where you built your own gaming system. So you're not just playing the game, you got to build your own system. And then once you build your own system, you have to enroll in so many courses up to 12th grade. So that by the time you finish, you have already been in the path of where you want to go. So you have two options then. You can either be a competitive esports player to get scholarships to go to college, or you can just go to work. So we give them two options. And I think that's the thing when I go into the urban communities and rural areas, they're shocked that their kid, this thing that they do every day, can potentially make them money or career, right? And I think that's the great thing. But at the same time, it's taking the game mindset out of the kids and letting them know this is a business. So that takes a lot of time. So I'll be calling you guys to
Oh
talk
yeah,
to them.
yeah, yeah.
They don't know how big it
Yeah.
is.
No, no. I have one rule in our household. No, you want to play it, you build it. and but she's right. I'm a proud South Carolina State University HBCU grad, right? And our company, there are several schools around the country, HBCUs in particular, that we've helped them create and establish their own bachelor's and soon to be master's degrees in esports and cybersecurity, video game design, all those different tracks. Our company actually offers a dual enrollment credit. You can actually, through our program, graduate in high school with an associate's degree in that. We're really big on this. And one of the things I shared with the STEM City executives leadership team as we were talking prior to coming to this, and I'm really big on what I heard her say. I mean, this talking about up to 26, age 26. And here's why. Um, one of the things we really focused on was the Department of Juvenile Justice, juvenile justice system. So this past week, we just made an announcement out of South Carolina, my native state, that 13 campuses, all of the entire juvenile 13 campuses, those kids are enrolling in a Blaze Fire Game Academy program to learn how to build their own video games, also learn cybersecurity and video game design, because I'm a big fan that we need to kill the myth in our own community. So to see 600 kids now, who everyone has cast away, who by all accounts, by the time they're done with our program in 16 weeks, for the people who are watching them, no disrespect to that salary, because that's a good job. But now the kid that was fighting inside the juvenile justice DJ, we call it South Carolina DJJ, will be earning $60,000 coming out of there in 6 weeks. Let me tell you, that's real because we know, we watch it. So as we focus on this other focus area, we think about DSS, right, and all those different areas. And our last announcement that we announced yesterday, it went viral, and I'm going to speak on that because I'm going to turn to him on how we going to leverage him to something I heard. What is the program we've been focused on? Is Fatherhood Coalition. So we announced a national program yesterday. We're now 1,300 fathers coming out the gate, free courses on video game design, cybersecurity, because if we fix the father piece of showing them the skill, then that fixes the household. But now we have to show them the basics because we don't want these fathers scared, right? So I'll be leaning here to my colleague saying, hey, what basic courses? And then leaning here to my other colleague and go, okay, we just rolled out this to 1,300 fathers that will keep the household straight because they heard the word metaverse and got scared. And we said, well, wait a minute. These fathers were playing games too. It was like, well, what if we can connect the kid exactly, there you go, which Atari now is building five-star hotels. One is in Vegas. Yeah, my buddy is to see it. Fluent African American, fluent Japanese he speaks. But so what I'm saying is the community is what I'm hearing up here. If we can just help our communities understand that this is a great way. He said he walked away from a job because of that. See, that's a great way to say it is low hanging fruit, and you don't have to be scared of maybe you're not going to get into the real estate piece. However, what if you're the one who that same father or kid who is singing in the household? That's someone who can write a song that can put in a mobile app game. It takes 90 days to build a mobile app game. That's it. So these are opportunities that I think we all have to say our community. You don't have to go build all this. I heard you singing. That's a 2 minute. Your life changes.
Yeah, and you said how many days it takes to build a mobile
90
game?
days.
All right.
Trust me.
Well,
I watch it every day, and but I told him your job is school. Don't ever forget that.
yeah. So one thing I definitely want people, especially parents, to take away from this session is it might take 90 days now, but with ChatGPT, maybe take 3 days. Because it'll take a lot of the scripting, it'll take a lot of the coding, it'll take a lot of the research and consolidate would usually take a month, and it can spit it out in this matter of minutes. So this might not be the session for it, but make sure you and your children understand Chat GPT and how AI can help you accelerate your adoption and your capabilities when it comes to development, coding, building apps, or creating any sort of business plan, pitch deck, etc. So ChatGPT is super important. I'd also say get your kids into Roblox. Yeah, and he can probably talk for days, so I'll probably pass it to him because but get your kids, delivering pizzas on Roblox, and they can make, nice little money for themselves, and they can also just understand that uh how you can build things and get paid for it, or create services in metaverse environments. So get your kids into Roblox, and then get you into ChatGPT and get your kids in ChatGPT. Don't obviously make it a replacement for the studying and the learning that they need to do, but they need to understand that this is a tool. Because I look at ChatGPT kind of like the text instrument calculator. Before that, you had to literally do the manual effort of figuring out the formulas. Now you can just put in a couple numbers at the formula, it spits it out. That's what ChatGPT is going to be able to do for this future generation, and it's going to be integrated into all kind of technologies, especially with Microsoft acquiring it. So definitely make sure that you learn that. I'd also Google opportunities in the metaverse. JP Morgan Chase, they have a great documented overview of just different opportunities in terms of businesses you can create or jobs that you can get to support the future of the metaverse. Because I always tell people like the metaverse right now is in its Atari format. It's super early stages, two balls hitting, it's a ball between two sticks, right? But the metaverse is eventually going to get to Nintendo, Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1, and then it's going to PlayStation 5. Those that invest in the currencies that will be, supporting these metaverse environments like Mana for Decentraland, and others, right? Sand for Sandbox, depending on which horse ends up going off. But just really keep an eye on every single metaverse environment and what are they doing to align with major brands, but more importantly, create real world utility and value. Because the metaverse environments that are able to do that and the brands and the people that are able to figure that out are going to be Bill Gates rich. And definitely want our kids to understand AI, understand how to develop, and then also, you mentioned it before, cybersecurity is going to always be a thing, no matter what the recession is, no matter, if the world is falling, cybersecurity is going to be even more important. So have your kids focus on those tracks, and they'll be in a good shape. And in my opinion, they won't even have to go to college. They can just go straight from Roblox to developing mobile games and making what $17,000 a month. I wish I knew that when I was a kid. Shit.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I'm not gonna lie. It's the other career opportunities to think about. He touched on it. She touched on it. I've touched on it. Understanding the money. We have this theme in our company and even our household called understanding the business of gaming in esports. I mean, it's a business, and what he saw NFT, it's a business. asset advisors. So we see, oh, Fidelity, we see all these. One of the hottest, fastest growing index fields happening right now, and we're starting kids out early, right? Where the financial literacy is teaching them to become financial advisors, to become asset advisors, so they know what companies in the metaverse or what products to invest in. You heard them say Ethereum and all that. Some people are going like, "What?" Well, because we're speaking to adult audience out here, we know what that is. But when we go into our communities, that word would be like Chinese, right? So therefore, the earlier we can teach kids about understanding asset, becoming asset advisors, they now get a piece of that. Asset advisors win off of that. The same Fidelity investment person or Morgan, JP Morgan Stanley advisor or Merrill Lynch advisor sitting down who's telling you about your 401k, there's a fast growing field out there for those who are saying, hey, I saw you created that. I want to invest in that. He or she's going to go out and find other investors or that they're working with financially to put money into your project, right? But be advised, that means they win off of that because they are treating that as no different as when they're managing your money all day. So asset advisors is a fast growing one of the fastest growing fields out there when we talk about money in the metaverse because there's so much out there. You know, I want to use Roblox. That'll be on the afternoon session with me and Sterling. So we'll talk about how concerts and how people who throw events and all of that, event management, and concert promoters and DJs have made so much money. Think about it. D Nice came back to life because of the pandemic. Technically on IG Reels, but the metaverse. D Nice came back to life.
Yeah, and also just a great case study. Google Travis Scott Fortnite. He
Yeah,
made
talk
$20
about that
million
today.
dollars. Yeah, check out his session. He made $20 million off of one concert. So if you're in the music industry, if you're an artist, look at that as a use case. There's a company called eSpat. Um, Dante, I forget his last name, but Billion Brother. He helped, do that. He helped Post Malone do a concert with Facebook and Meta. They made a ton of money. So yeah, check out Dante. I forget his last name. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Dante. And love negotiating. So Travis Scott made 20 million. Correct. Ariana Grande came right behind that on Fortnite and got paid 32 million for doing 3 songs as an avatar. I know my kids were rushed and watched the Fortnite event. Now my son could care less about her performing. He just wanted to play in the Fortnite. There were 100 million people watching that. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There were 300,000 because they had to bring back the server. I correct myself. But what did Sony win out of that we didn't? We were the consumers watching it. So here were all these digital ads being made. This is about controlling. He talked about this, about the controlling and royalties and all. This is a bigger story. But my point is, Ariana Grande made 32 million. You can look it up. You can Google it and see it for 3 songs. And watch her cute little avatar she did. She did 3 of her songs, made 32 million for 3 songs as an avatar. Talking 9 minutes. Song is 3 minutes long, and she was out. But Sony made 200 million in digital advertisement in that 2 hour game. So what was 32 million? Peanuts. So as I work with those event planners and promoters, we've gone out and we've found the biggest Afro tech and Afro beats artists that are coming up now. So we're now working with them to create avatars so that they can promote those shoes that we may have a kid out of her program or my program, create a digital asset or NFT, and we're like, hey, we're gonna let that artist wear your digital asset inside this avatar concert promotion, and here's what you're gonna be getting paid off of it. It's a whole machine behind this.
Yeah, so Dante Simpson,
Yeah.
Dante Simpson, look him up. eSpat TV, black man doing crazy dope stuff in the esports space, but also taking brands into the metaverse. And I'm excited to work with him because he's got all the connections. So if I can get somebody like Burna Boy to do a concert in the metaverse, man, the amount of money that could be made. and also the amount of PR and yeah, if Travis Scott's making 20 million, you know, it's just think about how much money Fortnite made. And then just also just think about reverse engineering all these big events where all this money's being made, who are supporting these events, and what are the roles that they have, and is it something that you could be passionate about and you could be one of the supporting players. And if you can own equity in these type of events, then that's
Oh,
generational wealth.
you'll never
uh,
work again.
exactly, exactly. So that's
Mm.
that's like from a business development perspective, just think of it like this: if you can find somebody like a Dante Simpson who's brokering these big deals, and you're able to broker some value to him, there's money available for all of us. And what's great about Black people in this space is we really do look out for each other. You got to have value and you got to have the skill set, because this isn't a charity. But if you're really passionate about building something, there's a lot of us out here that are building. And we are pop culture, we are the driving force around creativity. So we have to make sure that our kids, like his kids, are aware of how to be developers, how to utilize AI, how to utilize, you know, our connections in the media and entertainment space. And we're the ones building it out, and we're not outsourcing outside of our culture. So, yeah.
You're gonna, as I pass back to our moderator, you're going to, and I don't want to steal the thunder because, but it's already out there because we'll talk about it in the afternoon one at 2 o'clock. So this year's Super Bowl is now going to have another Ariana Grande type event, but is top female artist, African American artist, Sweetie. He already knows. I'm going to, but we'll talk more about it later on today. She's gonna get paid 61 million for a halftime Avatar concert. But here's where our money's gonna come in. This is why I love what Will Smith said while when he did the movie with Tom Cruise, right? Tom Cruise said, "Don't take the money." I remember reading that story. He said, "No, no, no." He said, "Don't take the money on the movie sale. Take the money on the DVD back sales." And that's when the DVDs were the thing, right? He was right. She's gonna, so after halftime, when that show's over, after the halftime show, it's gonna play for 12 weeks the replay of that on games. She's taking the back end royalty of that. See again, the equity piece is what, Sweetie, 61 million. She's gonna break the record. So
So, guys, as we close out this session, one of the things I want you guys to look at the takeaway, and the only example I can give you is this. As a kid growing up, I just fell in love with science and I used to take stuff apart. And my dad took half of the garage and gave it to me so I can do science experiments. I didn't want to play with other kids. I wanted to figure out how I could, solve the problems in the world using science. But one of the things that my parents didn't understand was mathematics. My mother she just dropped me off at Wayne State University, and I didn't talk a lot. She says, "You'll get up at some point to ask them to help you with your algebra." And I was taking algebra in the eighth grade. And so eventually I did, because the people in the office, my mother called and said, "Don't anyone go out and talk to her. Wait till she comes to talk to you. She has to want this for herself." The lesson learned was that my mother had no idea how to do the math that I was doing, but she put me in a position where I could be a chemist. And I appreciate that. But now I've transferred from being a chemist to running a tech company, which is really exciting. But the thing is, she put me in that space. So, parents, I know a lot of what we're saying seems like very foreign to you, but it's not foreign to your kids. The only thing I can tell you is do what my parents did. They figured out where I needed to go to get the help, and then they put me in a space that I could achieve my goals, which is the same thing that I did with my kid. My kid's going to school to be a biomechanical engineer, but I still made him take cybersecurity courses, right? Because regardless of what he does, he needs to come run the company. That's number one. But I also support education, like you said. I mean, having a college degree is really great. I got four of them, right? I started out at DSU, HBCU, shout out, by the way. I think we ought to start promoting our HBCUs. Okay, but that's not the point. But the thing is that you really need to look at the possibilities. And I don't want parents to get so torn off. And the other thing is the kid that doesn't talk a lot, who's stuck in the gaming world, who reads a lot of books. This kid is the next Bill Gates, and you have no idea. It's the socialization within the metaverse is totally different in the real world. And I'll be honest with you, I was a kid in the closet with a flashlight. And if the metaverse was out then, oh my gosh, I would be like a total rock star, because that's what I did. But the thing is, there's an opportunity. So I want children, students, teenagers, really focus on what we're saying. You understand the terminology that's being used. Your parents don't. Give them a crash course. Work together with your parents to see how you can navigate this. And again, the metaverse is like moving to another state. I live in Michigan, but if I picked up and moved to South Carolina, wouldn't it be great if I already knew this guy? So then he can tell me where I need to go. That's the metaverse. Don't just jump out there, get to know the communities. Like he said, as minorities, there's so many minority communities, and they'll give you a tour. I just want to be honest, they will give you a tour because there's so many different places and things to see. But make sure you familiarize yourself with the terminology. We don't want you going in and not being familiar. Is there one place as we close out that you guys would suggest they go to get started, as a parent or as a student familiarizing themselves with the metaverse?
I'll go first because the mic drop. I would say look up K-12 crypto. Um, Great educational program run by a black man. Really trying to get kindergartners to 12th graders familiar with cryptocurrency, NFTs, Web3. So K-12 crypto. I would also look into Crypto Kids Camp run by Naja Roberts, amazing black woman that is doing a lot of education around Bitcoin, but also around Web3, and it's focused on underrepresented minorities, and there's a lot of free education. So like Meta has a free Coursera course that'll just get you acclimated to everything that Meta's doing, but it'll help you with concepts that can be applicable across other metaverse environments. So, but for the kids, Crypto Kids Camp, K-12 crypto, and get them into Roblox and learn Roblox yourself as an adult, so you can get what the opportunities are, and don't shun them away from Fortnite and things like that. Embrace it. Obviously, have them do a little bit of balance of outside and playing the games, but yeah, there's a lot of opportunities there. And then when it comes to getting in contact with me, what I'm doing is I had somebody. I'm part of this group called XP Mentor. It's a collective of mentors in small business entrepreneurship in different categories. My category is Web3, NFTs, and crypto, helping small business owners and entrepreneurs get onboarded and, more importantly, execute strategies to monetize and create revenue, build their brand out in different parts of the world, etc. I was asked to do a course, and I was just like, you know what, a course would probably be useless in 3 months or 6 months because this space changes so fast. So I said, instead of doing a course, I just want to do a community where I work with small business owners and we meet 3 times a month. The first meeting is going to be Q&A, no dumb questions. The next session is going to be like small business use cases. Like, this is a mom and pop shop, knew nothing about NFTs, knew nothing about the metaverse, and here's how they executed a strategy, and here are the results. So like real world examples, and I want the people in the community to become those examples. And the third meeting is going to be having vendors like the people I mentioned, the Bianca Jacksons and the Hardy West, come in and tell people like, all right, if you don't know how to develop a metaverse environment, here's how we can help you do that, and here's some of the examples of success we've had for businesses. So we'll be meeting monthly, and then within that group, I'm going to be posting all kinds of links to free information, free courses, white papers, etc. And then also, updates on legislation around crypto and NFT, so that people are aware, or chat GPT, things of that nature that pop up, Jasper.ai. There's so many different platforms that I'll be throwing at my community. So if you want to become a part of it, you can go to XP3, XP is in Paul 3.club, and you can sign up, and love to have you become the next use case example of how a small business generated hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars in the metaverse. And then more importantly, this space is all about who you know. So as I continue to go to these conferences, go to Afrotech, go to South by, all these places, I'm going to be bringing those people into the community. We can be early adopters and not kind of left behind.
Jared, where can they find you? Can they find you on LinkedIn?
Yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn if you search my name, Jared Albritton. Hopefully, it's listed on this video or website. And then also, you can find me on Instagram, DOCTAJ. So it's like Dr. J, DOCTAJ. On in- yeah, on Instagram, and then on Twitter, you can find me at Dr. NYC. I used to live in NYC, so Dr. NYC, DOCTA NYC. And I'm launching a podcast that'll be airing on YouTube in March. I would say the name, but I'm working on the trademark, so I can't say it yet. But it's gonna be dope. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll start seeing the reels of the podcast, and then you can go to my link tree in my Instagram or my Twitter and connect with me in all the different places that I'll be in. And I'll also be doing a live show in the metaverse with the Looser, and yeah, they have a meta asset that's interoperable across all metaverse environments. And if you own that meta asset, you get access to the show for free, or you can subscribe to the show. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
And that's amazing. So I'll, because of timing, I will say this respectfully. Just go to blazefiregames.com. You go there, and that's a great place to start. You'll see that what we do between K through 12, higher ed, nonprofits, all those different things, even Head Start. We go as low as that. Go to blazefiregames.com. Once you leave a message in there to contact, we have a massive team that, that 99% looks like us, because I purposely did that because I could, as the CEO and co-founder. I'm a big fan of. Everyone knows when I travel around the country or outside the country, Black Wall Street is my favorite story. And I'm intentionally doing this. Earn 7 seconds every time that dollar is spent in Tulsa. So I believe, why can't we get back to the 7 seconds? But that's intentional. But also do a great deal of work with Hispanic serving institutions and tribal Americans. So I tell people, look, the only thing that has a color is green. And let's not forget that. But you must not lose your soul for green. That I will never do. We will walk away from a deal if it doesn't feel right. Go to blazefiregame.com and you leave a message and say, hey, Isaiah Reese asked me to leave this message in here. Trust me, they'll make sure the message will get to me through our CEO or whomever. The other piece I would say is another way, even to contact me. Listen, if you go on Instagram, it's simple, Isaiah_Reese. So my name and _Reese, and you can contact me on Instagram there, or someone will pick up that message from there. LinkedIn, my name is Isaiah Reese. You'll see all these great articles that we posted. I make it very simple, right, for me, because I know a lot of people try to get to me, and there will be guard dogs. But I tell people, check my social media. Listen, it's not about how many followers you have. Just check it. Make sure we have the right people, because we know what it was like being told no on deals. So we will always listen to someone. The ones that people didn't listen to are the ones that we were happy to get and help those people turn their lives around. So you can follow me. You can contact me on LinkedIn. I live on LinkedIn, so you will get me direct on that, and not someone checking my social media page. The other piece I would say as we close out, one of my favorite statements is Alicia Keys said she was born to create. So I've kind of added something to that says I was born to create and innovate. So parents, as we talked about, don't let your kids, as your kids are playing games or watching them create or write or whatever they're doing in their space, watch them. I watched a young lady do a flip at a gymnastic event, African American female. And I said to her mother, I said, have her do that again at home and take a picture of it and send it to me. So when she did that same thing, and she sent it to me, but I had her sign a non-disclosure agreement, because I said, I want you to know this is how you do paperwork, because I want you to know I'm not going to steal your idea. Her 13-year-old daughter did that, sent it to me of a picture. I sent it to one of my close friends who I know who could turn it into an avatar. This happened 6 months ago. That is now an avatar. It goes into her 529 college plan, 3-year deal, $250,000 a year. That one flip turned into a dance move.
Right? Isaiah, we will both flip, right, Jared? Right now. We can film it.
And the more
Right.
right?
The whole room
It
is
was
flipping.
and I saw it, and I said, oh my God. Right? But this is about people like us up here, see, and you're out there. The more of the story, pay attention. As you're saying, oh, don't go play that game. Oh, stop doing that. Watch while your kids playing the game. Are they tapping? You got somebody who's making a beat. If they're humming, you're like, somebody can write a song. Madison would always write poems while she was playing Roblox. I was like, oh, you can write script. See, pay attention. So that avatar has now changed this 13-year-old single mother who was saying, I didn't know how I was going to pay for my daughter's college, that for the next 3 years, that company that I won't name, but I appreciate them doing what they did, it is now paying $250,000 a year for the next 3 years because we were able to help her understand, here's how much you will be getting paid off of this. See, I happily pay for those lawyers for that African American female. She'd never have to worry about her daughter's college tuition. However, we put in a trust account because we don't know what mom's going to go through. So
Outstanding.
you got to make sure, right? So don't make the mistake now. I will protect the child. But my point is, we're very positive. So to my esteemed panelists, I already know in my mind I got like 10 different ideas I'm be working with them already on, and I didn't have to write them down.
I think
But
we're all here thinking like, okay, we see symmetry.
and that's good. So as we close on how to make money on the metaverse, all I can tell you is that it's like Alicia Keys said, I was born to create and to innovate. Guys should do the same.
I guess that's the end because there's nothing else I can say. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today and having this conversation. I hope that the conversation really helps people elevate them in their understanding about the metaverse. Thank you so much.